Good morning. Welcome to the DFS Army YouTube channel. I'm Razzle11, or on Twitter you can find me at Razzle11Grinds. Taking a look at the pitching for today's 9-game main slate, today being Sunday the 30th. We already have one game postponed due to rain, so we do lose Spencer Strider out of our options for today. But we can take a look at the rest of the options that we do have. There are other weather concerns. Take a look here quick. Obviously, we lose this game here. Early looks all right across the country, but uh, I am hearing that Washington might be a troublesome spot again. So we're going to want to stay up to date on some of the information because obviously weather affects pitching more than anything else. So let's take a look at the options and what we're going to use and who we might be fading. I'm going to look here at the top. Drew Rasmussen. I'm actually looking at fading Drew in this spot. Hasn't been sharp the last, two out of the last three starts. Even the start that he was, somewhat sharp in, he still racked up 3 walks. Not really normal for him because he had walked 0 guys through his first 2 starts, but has 9 walks over his last 3. I'm not really enjoying, what I'm seeing as far as sharpness out of him. And at 10.6K on DK, I think I'm gonna go cheaper. Sonny Gray being slightly cheaper, just 200 cheaper, but far better spot. I believe this has. Let's take a look. 7.5 total, according to ESPN. But Sonny Gray has thrown the ball exceptionally well, allowed just 2 runs in his 5 starts so far. He is, throwing plenty of pitches now, which is one of the big concerns because 2 out of his first 3 starts he threw 83 pitches or less. But 3 out of his 5 starts he's at 98 pitches or above. So I'm really liking what I'm seeing, and obviously as a Twins fan, I'm enjoying it. But he gets a pretty decent matchup, so I'm definitely going to go Sonny Gray over Drew Rasmussen on this slate. Nestor Cortez is one that I don't know what to do with right now. At 10.1, I feel like I need to see a little bit more out of him. He hasn't been extremely sharp the last few starts. His Ks are decent yet, but he's still allowing, too many runs. And the Texas lineup has been somewhat dangerous. They are better against right-handed pitching, so that's one thing working in his favor. His opposition, Martin Perez, might be the better play for me today. The Yankees lineup is really watered down with Judge being out. I assume he's out again with his hip issue. And the overall Yankee lineup just looks weak. And I think we can get a similar return from Perez as to Cortez at $1,400 less, which to me makes a big difference. If they can match each other in terms of fantasy scoring. Cortez has the better K matchup, but Perez faces the softer lineup right now. I'm not really sure what we want to do with Chris Bassett. Has dealt with some lower back issues. I think it can affect, his K to walk numbers. The one nice thing, though, is I assume that Seattle is going to be without Julio today after he left yesterday's game with a lower back tightness. So that does weaken the lineup, but Bassett just really doesn't feel like somebody I'm in a hurry to jam in. But I do have a feeling I'm going to end up with some shares of him. Oviedo has thrown the ball extremely well for Pittsburgh, but we do have the weather in Washington to pay attention to. If I get the all clear or that, there shouldn't be a delay in game at all, I am going to be very happy to play some Johan Oviedo. He has three strong starts in a row, coming off a rough one, but it was against the Dodgers, who obviously is not an easy matchup. And we know this Washington lineup is very, very weak overall. I don't really expect him to go out and strike out 10 much at all, but he can get back to striking out 6 or 7 in 6 innings in this spot. I think it's a great spot for Oviedo in our builds. One guy that I'm pretty sure I'm fading is going to be Chris Sale. We have used him twice, in this video. He absolutely dominated Minnesota with 11 strikeouts, but then he came back last game against Baltimore and 0 strikeouts in 5 innings. This isn't really the Chris Sale that we're used to seeing, and we know that Cleveland just doesn't strike out all that much. They don't really have a ton of power, but the peskiness to them not striking out, uh, racking up pitch count against Sale, I just don't think I need to go there. If he strikes out 8 and goes 6 or 7 innings, so be it. I'll take the L. If he outduels a number of other guys that we're considering. But right now, I just don't see a need to play Chris Sale. Brady Singer, here's an interesting one against the Twins. Twins have some strong BVP history against him, but he is coming off of his best start of the season, and the game has an extremely low total. I assume that means it's going to be somewhat cold. Yeah, it's in the 40s in Minnesota. The wind is blowing out to right a little bit, but uh, pretty cold temperatures, great spot for pitching. We might have to consider some Brady Singer shares. I'd probably looking at something like 10% in my MME, maybe 15. I haven't played around with my DK builds yet, so I'm not sure. I'm just kind of guesstimating. Um, but Singer will make it as kind of a dart pitching options just based on the game environment itself. I always fade Clevenger. If he beats me, he beats me against Tampa Bay. They blew up after being no hit for 6 innings. Next thing you know, they scored double digit runs. So, yeah, that offense is just too dangerous for me to take a guy like Clevenger. Kyle Bradish, somebody that I will definitely use against Detroit, coming off a terrible start, but prior to that, his start against Washington, he was dominant. He flashes this ability, uh, but there's obviously volatility here. Even though he gave up 7 runs in 2 1/3 last game, uh, he got a ton of ground balls, which is a huge thing. Um, so that it tells me he's throwing it well enough. Some of it could be just BABIP induced. Last game 8 hits in 2 1/3. Sometimes hits just find holes, but against Detroit, I am definitely all about Kyle Bradish today. And one other name that I'm going to consider is going to be Logan Allen making his second start. Uh, Very impressive left-handed pitcher. I know the Miami lineup is weaker than Boston, but Boston is missing their best hitters against left-handed pitching. We're Adam Duvall, Yu Chang, two guys that absolutely had smash left-handed pitching to begin the season. I think Logan Allen is a sneaky to good option. I'm not out there chasing him getting 28 DK points again. I don't really expect that to happen, but I think he can put together an impressive start in his second start at the major league level. So there we have it. There's a look at the pitching for today. 8 game slate now that the Atlanta Mets game has been rained out. If you enjoy what I bring to you, please hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, turn the notifications on. That way you get alerts with all the videos that we drop throughout the day. I know the guys doing a lot of the prop based stuff are killing it, and they do drop multiple videos per day. And if you really want to join us at DFS Army, I'll put links in the description below. You can use promo code RAZ for 10% off your monthly membership with us. Get access to us in chat and everything that we provide. And with that, best of luck, everybody.